I work as a night security guard for an office building. My job is pretty simple: monitor the security cameras at night and make sure no one breaks in. But that night, I saw something I never want to see again. My shift started at 11 p.m. I sat in the surveillance room scanning through each camera feed. The hallways were empty, the parking lot was silent, just another ordinary night. But at 2:37 a.m., I noticed a woman standing inside the elevator on the fifth floor. She had long hair covering her face, wearing a tattered white dress. The strange thing was, she was just standing there, facing the corner of the elevator, not pressing any buttons, not moving at all. I checked the employee list. No one was supposed to be on the fifth floor at this hour. I turned on the building's intercom and spoke into the mic. "Who are you? What are you doing there?" No response. She remained still. I switched the camera to the fifth floor hallway. It was completely empty. But when I switched back to the elevator, she had turned her head, and she was staring directly into the camera. A chill ran down my spine. Her eyes were completely white, no pupils, no irises. Suddenly, the elevator lights flickered. The camera feed became distorted. I could barely see anything. Then I heard a laugh inside the surveillance room. I spun around, my heart pounding. No one was there. But when I looked back at the screen, she was standing right outside my security room. The camera feed slowed down. She started walking forward, each step stretching unnaturally long, like time itself was distorting. I panicked, grabbed my keys, and bolted for the door, but when I opened it, the hallway was empty. She was gone. I turned back to the monitors. The woman had vanished. The next morning, I quit my job, but before I left, I secretly checked the security footage from the previous nights, and I discovered something horrifying. That woman had appeared in the cameras every single night for the past 10 years. I was a final year college student looking for a cheap place to stay near my school. One day, I found an unbelievably cheap rental online, half the price of any other apartment. The landlord told me it was on the third floor of an old apartment building. Without thinking twice, I agreed to rent it. When I arrived, I noticed something strange. The elevator only had buttons for the second and fourth floors. No third floor. I asked the landlord about it. He simply smirked and said, "Just take the stairs." Feeling uneasy, I climbed the stairs to the third floor. It was darker than the other floors. The lights flickered. There was only one door. I unlocked it and stepped inside. The room was empty. No furniture, no windows. The walls were damp and moldy, like no one had lived there in years. That night, I slept on the floor. At midnight, I heard a knock on the door. Knock, knock. I sat up. The knocking was soft, almost like fingertips tapping on the wood. I hesitated, then slowly walked to the door and opened it. No one was there. But when I turned back, I heard it breathing inside the room. I turned on the light. Nothing. I told myself I was imagining things and forced myself back to sleep. But at 3 a.m., I heard a whisper right next to my ear. "You shouldn't be here." I shot up, my body ice cold. I scanned the room, empty. Then I looked down, and I saw them. Wet footprints, starting from the door leading to where I was sleeping. I couldn't take it anymore. I ran out of the room, bolted down the stairs, but as I reached the second floor, I ran into an old woman who lived there. She stared at me, horrified. "Where? Where did you come from?" she asked. I gasped, trying to catch my breath. I was staying on the third floor. Her eyes widened in terror. Then she whispered, "This building doesn't have a third floor." I turned around. The stairs leading to the third floor were gone, and the room I had stayed in had never existed.